Welcome to the Driven Agenda podcast, where raw journeys drive ambition and reveal the fuel behind people's success. I'm Shannon, a personal injury lawyer, entrepreneur, and founder of the Dashcam Lawyer. This podcast is all about being driven, focused, motivated, and determined to reach your goals and setting an agenda that pushes you forward. We bring you insights from top players in business, sports, real estate, investing, health, and more. Here, we dive into what it really takes to thrive with candid conversations that cut through the noise and get to the heart of people's success. We are live, back on the Driven Agenda podcast. I don't know if I told you, Max, what this podcast is about or if you even follow it, but you will after this.
I'm going to subscribe.
It has nothing to do with law, at least for now.
Okay.
And I want to keep it that way. Obviously, I do my share of promoting my law firm and business and whatnot. But law can be boring. People don't want to be staring at injury lawyers all the time. There's already too many of us on TV and radio. And this whole podcast I started was because there's people like yourself that do interesting things and lead interesting lives, are entrepreneurial, doing careers that are a little bit different. So it's about entrepreneurial health, investing, all kinds of things. And so welcome to this episode of the podcast.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you on. Maxx Stiles, he is a one-of-a-kind human being. And if you know him, you know what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
I first met him. I had an IT guy, Joey. He was my guy forever. And Joey just kept getting busier and busier and was starting to travel out of state. And it was getting harder to get a hold of him. And I recall going on Google and just looking up a random IT company. And I see Max's business, Computer Ninjas. And reached out. He called me back. I don't know what the issue was. But, gosh, that was what? 12 years ago?
Dude, it's been like 13, 14 years I've been dealing with you and vice versa. Sorry about that. We're about to be 21 years in business, in fact. June 1st, which is in a few days, will be 21 years in business.
Oh, wow. Congrats. So that's why we're here, is to mainly talk about your business. But that's how I first met Maxx. And he had he fixed some of my issues, and he was readily available every time I called. And then he had a plan that I had never seen in the industry before, where you can prepay monthly payment. Yep. And you accrue hours as you need them. And that thing came in handy. There were times where I had 17 hours racked up, and I'm saying to Maxx, how the hell am I going to use this shit? And then everything would go down.
You use them all
in my office, and I ended up needing it all. So that's kind of how he got me hooked into his business, was with that plan. And it came much needed. So Maxx, fast talking guy, says whatever the hell he wants, dresses how he wants. This is kind of tame for him.
Well, it's a business environment. I'm not going to wear like ponytail and like my.
You're not going to wear that red like laced shirt you wore at Kill Tony.
People love that thing. They were like, "That's Temu. Don't be hating on my Temu shirt. $11.99 with Chinese lead built into it." That was Temu 100%. Actually, it's funny. I have a black and a red one because I ordered one. I'm like, this fits amazing. Let's order two of these. They're $11. I mean, made by some child slaves, probably. I don't know.
Well, he's very tame today as far as his dress, but the speaking, like Maxx talks fast. I was thinking of that. There's a old school 50 Cent song where he says, "I'm not gonna slow down. You need to listen a little faster."
Listen faster. I love that line. Yeah, that's a great line.
That's kind of what you got to do with Maxx. He's definitely a presence, and he's a different guy, and not for everybody.
This is true. You're going to either like me or you're going to really loathe me. There's not really much middle ground, unfortunately.
And if you loathe him, he doesn't give a shit. So,
dude, people are going to hate you no matter. If you're successful, people hate you. If you're not successful, people hate you. Like, you're going to get hate either way. Yep. Like, if your face looks the wrong way, I hate your face. Like, I can't help my face. I'm so sorry you don't like my face.
So we had something in common in the beginning. He had just gone through a divorce. I was going through mine. It was pretty bad. And I remember him, we still talk about it. I remember him saying, don't worry. What did you say? So, don't worry, man. Everything's going to be fine.
You'll be in a couple of years. Everything's going to be totally fine. You'll be joking around, making jokes about how you used to be together.
And
dude, my ex-wife's amazing. My ex-wife is literally, I tell people like I have the best ex-wife in the world. Like it would not listen if we were married again, it would not work out. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But she is the coolest, best ex-wife anyone could ever ask for. She's just awesome. She's just who she is as a person is great. And then also like with the kid, I'm like, I'll throw something. Hey, do you mind if I take our kid to Japan for 3 weeks? Yeah, go ahead. Just let me know where you're at. Okay, bye.
Yep.
Like, just super chill.
That's one thing that I always respected about you and a handful of my friends. There's still some that kind of have situations like mine where there's not really any co-parenting, sadly.
Yeah.
But I do respect that you and your ex can drop things and egos, and even if you don't care for each other, you guys are keeping your kid as first priority, and that's very mature of you, and continue doing that.
Can I tell you a secret about that?
Sure.
I have one of my clients, I think he's $650 an hour as a divorce attorney. So he does really high-end divorces. And I came to him, I said like, my ex-wife's not giving me any equal time with him. This is when we had model timeshare in Palm Beach County. So I get like 38% of the time. Yeah, it's just, ugh. And I said, how do I get 50% with my kid? Or at least 49% is fine for me. And he goes, well, you can hire an attorney like myself, and she can hire an attorney like me as well. And we can have a giant money fight. And in the end, you're going to have to compromise. She's going to have to compromise, and you're going to spend a lot of money with us. Or you can just go talk to her like a normal human being and see if you can break bread and find common ground and just try to work things out. And I literally kind of translated word for word what he told me to her. I said, Jessica, I don't want to fight you anymore. I think we both love our son. He's an awesome dude. He's got accepted to Suncoast. So, but can I get equal time with him just for 1 month? Can we just try 1 month of equal time? Like I'll take Wednesday, Thursdays, you take Monday, Tuesdays, and then we'll flip-flop the weekends just for 1 month. It's not set in stone. And after a month, you let me know if that sounds good or bad, and we can go from there. And then since then she's been like, that's fine.
Well, you say it's a secret, but it takes two to agree to that. And I've tried those things before, but I digress. Let's not go down that road.
You have to. You have to have two people that want to try.
One day.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk. What's your educational background? You didn't go to college, right?
I am almost a high school dropout. I got nearly perfect scores in SATs, but my GPA is like a 1.9, if I remember correctly, something like that. I actually didn't get to walk across the stage because I was a bad kid. And as far as college, I went to High Tech Institute, which is basically like the DeVry thing, where they basically give you like a certificate that says you have an associate's in technology assembling, which fancy way of saying I can solder stuff. I can work some old IT equipment, stuff like that. But it was all legacy based stuff. It was all like how a phone line works, or how like a fax modem works, or the most rudimentary, like this is how a mouse works, like just stuff that you don't even need to use anymore.
Right.
And then I'm what's called an autodidact. So autodidact is self-teaching. So I go online like, okay, how do I fix my roof? Okay, this is how you put shingles in. Okay, my dishwasher's leaking. What should I do? Oh, the thing need to be tightened up. Oh, like the Wi-Fi is not working. What's wrong with my Wi-Fi? I have to reset the router. Well, how to reset the router? Boom, type it in Google. Oh, okay, go in and log in, go here. Change the thing. Okay, now it's working again. And so with really anything that you can think of, I've just acquired a big skill set, and I love it. I wish I could if I was a billionaire tomorrow, I would just sit around and just learn more stuff. Like I would literally get a job as a roofer. How does roof work? Cool. I get a job as a plumber. How does really good plumbing work? Boom. How does drywall work? And then I have all these skill sets, and I could teach them all and do it all myself and have a fun time doing it. Because I really enjoy that process of putting things together. Once you learn it and you're like, oh my God, this is how this thing works. This is so incredible. Now I have another skill set I didn't have before.
So that's kind of what I was getting at is there's people like me with degrees, and I have a degree only because I back then knew nothing.
Well, you have to. As a lawyer, you have to have a degree.
Yeah, but I knew nothing else. I didn't have any skills, hobbies. I wasn't good at anything. I wasn't running businesses back then. And so law was all I know. And of course, I needed it. But there are some people, I'm sure, that in your industry that would argue you should have some type of degree. But you run differently. So I was going to say, you taught yourself everything that you know. That's not a school thing that you've learned in your business.
That's because of ADHD and boredom. You're sitting there bored out of your mind. We didn't have smartphones back in the day. I was 21 years old when I got my first cell phone, and it was like, one of these old school black and white screens. So I had to kind of teach myself how to be entertained with various things. And it was just a matter of, okay, oh, this is a computer. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is DOS. Oh, what can we do with this? Oh, you can create programs. Oh, you can go and launch these games. Oh, you can go in and modify the games. So now you have infinite armor, or you have unlimited bullets, or now no one can kill you, or now there's like 5,000 monsters, or whatever you want to do. So the world, you're almost kind of like playing God in some sense, because you can kind of manipulate that situation to do whatever you need it to do. And like, that's incredibly, like, that makes me feel incredibly good inside to like go in there and mess with stuff. Like, how does this work? Oh, okay. Oh, I can do this. And just neat stuff that there's so much cool stuff in a computer or any really technology that's out there. I mean, especially the smartphones and AI, there's just, it's like an endless plethora, cornucopia of technology in all directions. And it's only getting more and more every day.
So how do you decide that you're going to go into your industry? Did you work for someone before? Or did you just go straight and open your own business?
So back when $10 an hour was good money, I took pretty much every job you can think of at $10 an hour. So
in that industry?
Well, no. Like literally anything, like pizza delivery guy, bouncer, security guy, whatever you could do for $10 an hour-esque. You know, I was a switchboard operator for Nationwide back in the day. And then from there, I joined a company. It was a sales company. It was called Sidcore. And some people probably know what Sidcore is, or a variation of Sidcore. And basically what we do is we would, knock on doors and say, hey, my name is Max. I'm with Quill Off Supplies. Hey, my name is Max. I'm with DirecTV. Hey, my name is Max. I'm with AT&T. And we try and sell businesses that various stuff. And then we'd also do residential as well. Residential is fun too. And what I got to learn is at the age of 21, I had a couple piercings on my face, being a real edgy, cool kid as I was. And I saw this guy, his name was Ryan. I can't remember his last name, but he was like a really cool, smart business, like young kid, like 21, 22 years old. And he had this like slick back hair, and he'd walk in and he'd talk to people and be like, hey, I'm with Quill Off Supplies. You need 5 boxes of paper, you need some printer cartridges, you need all this extra stuff. And these people would come in and be like, okay. And they would just buy all the stuff from him. And he'd make like a $500 commission in 1 hour. And I'd be like, how did you make $500 in 1 hour? And he's like, that's sales. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to learn sales. That is the best. I took all the piercings out of my face. Luckily, I have no tattoos. I fixed my hair, make myself more professional. And I'm like, now if I can just figure out a way I can take my time and literally create money faster than my 40 hours a week will fill up. So most of us trade our time for money, right? You trade, hey, I work 40 hours a week. I made $1,000 a week, whatever. But if you know sales, you can go out there and spend 1 hour and make that entire paycheck in 1 hour. Yep. And that's incredibly powerful. And then when I got fired from this company, Sidcore, they said, hey, listen, we're not getting fast enough. You're not building your team. You're not getting the level of manager you're supposed to. And you've been here for 3 years, so you're basically getting kicked out. I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to go back to school and get my, my computer science degree or something so I can go work for some company? And I'm like, what if I just go door to door and go like, hey, I go like knock on people's doors and go, hey, my name is Max and I fix computers. And I just kept doing that until $80 a day for probably 6 months. And then, once in a while, oh yeah, my printer's broken. Or, oh yeah, I need you to look at my Wi-Fi connection. Oh, my computer's not going online. I'm not sure why. And then from there, it just built up. Like, I can't believe I made $500 of my own money with my own business this week. And that was back when $500 was a lot of money. And so it took me about 3 weeks of suffering to get my bills together where I could make enough money. And I didn't take any vacations for like 3 to 5 years. I took no vacations at all. I'd always work on the weekends, Saturday, Sundays. I didn't care. I'd work on Christmas Eve. I don't care. I was really here to make money. And now finally at 21 years, I've been able to, have a fun time and kind of be a dork now that I can relax and enjoy it all. But it's learning sales, number one, and then learning how to fix things. And this is the most important part, but learning when not to touch things. Sometimes I'd go to someone's office, you see some crazy Linux server, some custom built like rig. And I'm like, there's no way I can touch this thing. So
knowing your limitations.
Yeah, you're like, I can't fix the rocket machine. I can't fix the time machine for you, sorry.
Well, congrats on the 21 years.
Thank
That's a feat in and of itself to be a business owner. First off is roller coaster ride, right? Mm-hmm. High risk, high reward. But to do it for 21 years is amazing. I was not aware of the fact that you were doing the door knocking thing. So you get fired from this job and you just say, screw it, I'm going to open, was it Computer Ninjas even back then?
No, it wasn't even then. So originally my original corporation was Empire Inc. And we had this thing was like Got Hackers. And I thought that was such a clever name. Like, ooh, Got Hackers, right? Like the whole Got Milk thing back back 20 years. And then the problem was some people thought Got Hackers meant landscaping. So they're like, oh, you're like a landscaping? You hack down the weeds? I'm like, no. And then other people, they'd hear the word hackers, and instead of being like excited, they'd be paranoid and freaking out. Like, oh my God, a hacker. I don't want a hacker near me. They'd start like panicking. I'm like, okay, I gotta change the name of this. And I just kind of was like, well, I like ninjas. I'm a Japan, obsessed weeboo. And I was like, you know what? What if I did Computer Ninjas? And I just kind of threw the name around, and then I got it. Luckily, I got it on GoDaddy back a million years ago. And it was just, it clicked together and feel like, what a cool company name. Like I remember I was in line at the DMV and this guy's like tapping my shirt and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hey, is your business Computer Ninjas? I go, yeah, it's my shirt. He goes, that's a cool name. Let me get a business card of yours. And I gave him a business card and we ended up doing a bunch of business together. And it's crazy how that name has progressed. And my new business now is Service Ninjas, and our tagline is "We do it all." It's kind of like a concierge level service where basically you call me, Max, do you have any plumbers? Do you have any AC guys? Do you have a drywall guy? I need you to build me a chicken coop. I want to put in solar panels, and I want Starlink. Like, okay. Or I need a car stereo guy too. Like I have all these people in my repertoire I can pull out and use for you. And then also if you want me just to like take care of your house while you're not there and you're going to have like a new bathroom put in, I'll make sure the bathroom is being put in correctly. I'll check all the work. I'll make sure things are being done the way you want it to. I'll put in cameras so you can watch the work live. And like that's the next frontier I'm trying to go for.
That's cool. I like that. I know you and I had talked about that before. So yeah, the door-to-door thing is pretty crazy and amazing, but I agree with you. Sales, not necessarily selling an actual product, so to speak, but knowing the concept of how to do sales. And it took me a long time to learn that as well and to realize the importance of that. It's more important than any degree, in my opinion, and most other things. But sales, being somewhat of an extrovert, I'm an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert. You're clearly
I'm extreme type A, but only because I like money. It's the only. Otherwise, I was like, I want you guys to imagine, I was like the goth kid with long black hair, painted fingernails, tons of rings, metal in my face like an idiot.
Were you? Was that when you were? Like,
oh yeah, I was. No, I wasn't actually big. I was actually. I would say frumpy. I wasn't really muscular at all. I was just like a big dude, like a big bouncer, like a metalhead type of guy. And then like, I remember, I can tell you the exact moment that I decided to change it all. I was knocking on doors. I was selling Quest Communications DSL back in the day in Phoenix, Arizona. And there was, I knocked on the door and this lady opens the door and she looks at me. She looks me right in the eyes and she goes, look at me. And I said, I'm not going to buy anything from some stupid little kid with a fucking BB in his face. And I was like, what? She goes, you're piercing. I'm not buying anything. I don't care if you're giving out gold coins. I don't want anything from you. And I was like, okay. And literally I turned around, I took my piercings out. I took all my piercings out and I was like, okay, those are gone from now on. And then I cut my hair real short, had it like kind of yours is, more crew cut style. And then I dressed a little bit better and all of a sudden, bam, more money came in. You know, it's so crazy how we judge people for better or for worse. Yep. You know, I can't control the customer, but I can control my appearance in front of the customer, right? Do I sound like I know what I'm doing? Or am I a buffoon with an untucked shirt and like a mustard stain on my cheek and like a tattoo on my face or just cheek or something? So it's all about presenting yourself in a professional environment where the customer's like, okay, here's a check for a bunch of money for a server, or here's a check for a whole camera system, or I trust you to run my entire house while I'm gone out of the country for 6 months. You know?
So obviously self-taught as far as learning how to fix things in the IT world, but what about running business? Do you take any courses? Do you learn?
Nothing. So most of my stuff, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? The Cash Flow Quadrant, that's the second book. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, his second book is Cash Flow Quadrant. It's EBSI, it's employer, business owner, self-employed, and investor. And if you want to make money, you want to be in the B and the I side, the business owner side and the investor side. And if you can understand those two pieces, you can do pretty good. I'd also throw some love to Robert Greene of the 48 Laws of Power, phenomenal book, and the 50th Law of Power, which is, it's 50 Cent and Robert Greene writing a book together. It's a really cool book because it talks specifically about 50 Cent's struggle as like being like a young drug dealer and like dealing with the absolute, just there's no one coming to save you. Like you better figure it out. And having to go through endless amounts of fear and pushing himself and getting, going through the record deals and everything, like kind of screwing him over and him coming over out all this stuff. And it was just all those books are so important. They're like my concrete foundations. And that led me to my 3 top rules. I only have 3 rules in my house. And that's discipline, respect, and patience. And every time you're winning, you are doing the right thing with all 3. And every time you're losing, one of these 3 or all these 3 are out of whack. And if you understand that, then you can adjust accordingly on the fly and get yourself out of the situation.
So your kids follow that rule, and
they know. Like they'll say to me, "Dad, I'm sorry. I broke something. It's because I didn't have the respect for it, and I'm sorry that I threw my controller on the ground and broke it." And they'll write me like a handwritten letter, like, "I'm so sorry I broke the controller." Like my youngest one, he threw a controller on the ground really hard, and it bounced off of the jiu-jitsu mat and smashed the TV out. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're in trouble, buddy." And I wasn't even mad. This is literally my voice, like, "Go ahead and put the controller down. Go ahead and go in your room and take a seat, and I'll be there for you a little bit." And he's like, oh shit. And he was legitimately like, oh man, he's not even yelling at me. I'm in trouble now. So he goes in his room. I said, listen, our technology's gone for the next 2 weeks. You're going to chill. You're also going to write me a nice long letter of exactly what you did and how you need to fix it. And mind you, he's 8, so he's like writing it all cute. I still have the letter. It's really awesome. I took a picture of him in front of the thing. So when he gets older, I can say, look, this is a perfect example. You didn't have respect. You didn't have patience. And you had no discipline either. So all 3 blowed up. Because we've been playing video games before and you get mad. Like you play some N64, some GoldenEye. You're like, I can't believe you shot me. And you're like, oh. But you can't get mad like that. Just go outside, take a moment, take a breather, use the restroom, go get a cold glass of water, like take a break from all that. And you can reset yourself and feel much better.
Right. Let's talk about your team. So I've met the guys. I don't know if you have any girls, but
yeah, I have some girls.
Well, on your team, I mean.
On my team, we've got Matt Nelson has been with me for he's got to be 15 years, I think, with Matt Nelson, and then Brian's 12, 13 years now.
Yeah.
So they're both up there for quite a while with me.
And his team has different specialties. So depending on what I need, he will send a certain guy. I am into crypto, and so Nelson's been my man.
Nelson's your dad.
He's knows way more about crypto than any of us. He knows how to fix my miners. He knows how to set up my key phrases, all this stuff. And that's pretty cool because there's not a lot of companies that do that. Maybe they're starting to do it now that it's getting a little more notoriety, but you've had Nelson forever working on that kind of stuff.
Dude, Nelson is awesome. In fact, he'd actually be a good person to have on your podcast just to have like a crypto talk about him because he knows all about that universe. He's made a ton of money in the crypto universe. It's because of him. We were playing World of Warcraft back in the day, and he goes, you should make some Bitcoins. I'm like, what the hell is a Bitcoin? He goes, it's this like currency you can put in your computer. And I'm like, that sounds stupid. He goes, just make a couple, try it. I'm like, okay. So I made like 10 Bitcoins back in the day. And, because of him, I was able to pay a big chunk of taxes. It was nice. Like, thank you, Nelson. I think he paid his house off for the Bitcoin. I'm not sure.
But you didn't keep those Bitcoins.
No, I you sold them. Like, you should have.
It's at 106
yeah,
today.
But everyone's like, you could have made all this money. I bought myself a 5.7. I bought myself a cool shotgun.
Yeah.
I paid a bunch of taxes. So like, I took care of like 40 grand with a headache and basically digital currency.
Yeah.
And that's incredible. And yes,
I always say that too, like shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
But the fact is you did make money off of it.
Should have bought Apple back in 2007.
Exactly.
Okay.
Your team's diversified. I know your clients are diversified. You've got clients in all walks of life, and I know you. Sometimes when we have our dinners, you talk about some of your really high end Palm Beach type.
They're fun. The sad part about the Palm Beachers are I have some really good Palm Beachers I love to bits, and I like a lot of I really mean this. I thoroughly enjoy difficult, angry, cantankerous, curmudgeon-y people. Those are my favorite people to deal with because I do everything I can as perfectly as I can, and they almost have to smile. And to me, it's like I defeated the ultimate boss. It makes me so happy. I was one guy. He rest in peace, Mr. Barnett. He had passed away, but he was he was so angry. Like this guy's got millions of dollars of art on the wall of his house, right? And he comes in one day, he just flew in from New York, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, what's the matter, Mr. Barnett? And he's like, they lost my luggage. I look into his closet, and it's like Neiman Marcus, just, it's the entire Neiman Marcus line, all custom suits, all ready to go, all laid out. And this guy's angry. He's got like hundreds of millions of dollars, right? He's got like 5 or 6 houses around the world, and it's not enough for him. And I'm like, dude, just relax. Enjoy the view of the ocean here on Breakers Row. Enjoy the nice roses your home person bought in for you and everything. Like you're stressing out about stupid luggage. Who cares? Suits. It's not like you lost the ashes of your grandmother. Like it's a minor thing.
It's amazing the point of view, different points of view people have, right?
Yeah, people get so upset. I'm like, dude, why don't you just enjoy the fact that you're not falsely in prison right now? And you have both your arms and legs, and you have food. We have technology. We can talk. We're in an air-conditioned office. We're free.
On Palm Beach Island.
Yeah, you're living on Palm Beach Island. Well, look, we live in West Palm Beach. We live in vacation land.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that. If you live in West Palm Beach, it kind of becomes like a blur to you. But go to Idaho. I'm sorry, not Idaho's bad example. Go to Nebraska. Go to the west part of Texas and El Paso, where I'm from. Go to like the bad part of Mexico and walk around and just how brown and sad and boring and just everything's dirt. Everything's like bushes. Ugh. And then you come to Florida and you're like, oh my God, it's palm trees and Ferraris and it's just like crazy food. Like we have access to so much good cuisine.
Yes.
From Jupiter down to Miami. There is any type of cuisine you give a crap about.
Best cuisine in the world.
I mean, what's a cool Greek place? Christopher's?
Christopher's,
Oh my God, dude, Christopher's is worth. I would literally leave my house.
And it's not even a high-end restaurant.
It's not a high-end restaurant at all. It's just some, but it's like they have that
quality every single time. Yeah.
What's that called? The Grecian platter. It's like $38 and it's this much meat. You get a giant, like 400 grams of protein for $38. I'm like an idiot. I always order an appetizer and then I order the platter and it comes. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to eat. There's no way I'm eating all this right now. Like, I'm going to have like a third of it. And it's such a good deal. There's all these great buffets we have. I mean, come on. It's a win-win living here.
Yeah, we do a monthly dinner, me and Max and a couple other business owners. And we've been doing it for...
We've been doing it for like 4 years now. Because we started out with like 7, and now it's 4.
We just hit any restaurant that we've got in mind that we want to try out or that we've heard of or that's new. And it's been fun. We get to catch up, learn about each other's businesses and things like that. How do you get clients? Because I don't think you don't really have. I'm
gonna ruin.
Do you have a website? I don't even think you have a website. Like, I was looking you up. I'm like, what the hell?
So here's what I've done, and I'll be honest with you. I need a website. I'm gonna make one. I'm just so busy right now. It's like the walls are overflowing with water with money. I don't have the time to sit down and do a website. But what I'm gonna do is this. Right now, it's just pointing off of a Facebook website. So it's my Facebook page, like you'd have for your business. Yeah. It just takes you to computerninjas.com, but on Facebook, and you can see what's going on there. But here's the trick, and I'm going to tell this to all of you guys, and this is the one thing I would like you to take from this podcast. Every one of your customers, in whatever industry you do, go online, get your link to your Google reviews, right? And take that link. It's called a naked link. If you type a naked link Google review, you'll get like a thing shows you how to get one, or reach out to me somehow and I'll show you how to get it. From there, you get all your customers to leave you an honest review. Hey, Mr. Customer, it was a pleasure doing work for Mr. Sagan. Could you please just go ahead and leave me an honest review, 1 through 5 stars, and just kind of write something about what you like. And if you do that every time you're at a customer's office or a client comes in and you're doing it consistently, you get all these reviews for people and they're all organic. So it as far as Google understands, they're seeing all these people randomly that aren't connected together at all review your company and say, hey, Max did a great job, Brian did a good job, Nelson did a good job, I really liked whatever they did. And because of that, you get so much people referring your business and 5-starring your business that I have a friend of mine, a local competitor, who doesn't even advertise in West Palm. He doesn't even waste his time because he's spending $5,000 a month on advertising. I'm spending $0 a month for the last 19 years.
So you're saying, because my industry, the personal injury is the most competitive industry in the world.
Absolutely.
The pay-per-clicks, the amount of money, the billions of dollars that's being spent. So I have 110, 15 5-star reviews, and it took a while to do that. But that means nothing in my world.
Well,
every lawyer
you need
now
1,000.
has
that's the problem is you need 1,000.
And so are you saying in your industry,
obviously
that you have a higher amount than most people and that's how they're finding you?
Absolutely. So if you type in computer repair West Palm Beach, we should be near the top or at the top almost every time in West Palm Beach. Now there are certain areas that I won't, but yeah, as long as you've got an industry like that, I mean, chiropractic is hard. A lawyer, being the personal attorney like you are, that's challenging. But the more reviews you get, the more chances people are going to find you. And then again, like you said, it's a very difficult industry, right? It's like if I do mortgages, well, how many mortgage companies are out there? Like 100 of them,
right?
But whatever your industry is, like if you're like a kava bar, for God's sakes, just go in there and get a bunch of good reviews on your kava bar, and people are going to find it. You're in an indie restaurant, same thing.
So are you saying that's how you're getting? I mean, obviously you've got years of relationships you've built and repeat clients like myself, but outside of that, there's networking, there's pay-per-click, there's websites, social media. You're not on any social media. You have no websites. You're saying as far as not referral-based, your next biggest source is from people finding you from Google. That's cool.
Now, I will say a big portion of this also is I go out to my customers because they already like me. They're already using me, right, like yourself. And I say, listen, if you like what I do, and if you know anyone else needs help, just give them my name and have them call me. Because like, if I can help you at the level that you like, then hopefully I can help your friend the same way. And that builds upon itself. And then the best thing is I'll run and do some work for you. You'll refer me to somebody else. And then I know the person because it's somebody else to do work for as well.
Right.
So I have 2 people that know the person you referred me to.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because it just builds on itself. And then, keep your karma good, right? Make sure you're doing the right thing for the right people, for the right amount of money. And it'll just, that guy Max, he knows what he's doing. Oh, Nelson knows what he's doing. Oh, Brian knows what he's doing. And it just builds upon itself. And it's, 20 years, of course, but it just keeps building and building and building and building and building. And that's pretty much that, and then Google reviews are my one and number two as far as advertising. I spend $0 a month on advertising.
Right.
For the last almost 20 years.
That's cool. Plus, you're well known in West Palm because that's been your home base, and kind of everyone I know knows you or knows of you. So that's good too. Same with me, just being from Palm Beach County forever. People get to know you.
I'm jealous of your childhood. I wish I grew up here. I'm so jealous of you. When everyone's like, I lived in West Palm, like, you got to grow up here. I grew up in El Paso, Texas. Go look up El Paso, Texas. Go Google Maps and go look around El Paso, Texas. It is sad.
Well, shout out to my parents, specifically my father, for moving me down here when I was 4, because we were from this tiny little town south of Baltimore, and it's nice to go visit my family, but I have family members that had never even gotten on a plane before, and they literally would go to their job in downtown and then come home every day. Never traveled, anything like that.
Isn't that sad?
I always wondered if I stayed there, if that might have happened to me. So kudos to my dad for bringing us down here and loving the Keys, Florida, and taking that risk. Because I agree with you. It is paradise here. However, I told you,
it's expensive.
My wife and I, we definitely are liking Georgia, northern Georgia.
Don't you leave me, I swear to God.
And that's our end game, is heading up there down the road. Down the road, but yeah. I'm not liking the traffic, the lines, and things are getting expensive.
Get a Tesla that drives itself.
We are in paradise, but I know you always have an answer for everything.
I'm trying.
You're living a good life. You've busted your butt. I know you make good money. You try to hide it and pretend, but we know.
I'm broke. I have no money.
Yeah. And you do things on your terms. You have really cool hobbies, guns, shooting, jiu-jitsu, lifting weights. But also you always talk about stoicism and suffering and make sure that you still make yourself uncomfortable in certain ways.
If I could give one bit of wisdom I give to my boys, is I tell them everything that you want is on the other side of suffering. If you want to look better, you want to become stronger, you want to get more money, you want to get that girl to come out with you on the date or whatever it is, you need to suffer. You need to suffer. You're feeling unhappy, life's not going the way you want to, you need to suffer. And what that means is you need to go out there and push yourself really hard and be really uncomfortable and not have fun. Get in a cold plunge. Go lift, go do like 500 body weight squats. Go do 100 burpees every day for 100 days. Make yourself miserable. And when you do that, when you're done being miserable, when you're out of the cold plunge, when you're out of the burpees, or out of the thing, you're laying there, you're completely exhausted, and you're like flooded with dopamine, and everything is clear now. And you can see all the patterns you're supposed to, like, oh, I know I'm supposed to do now. I'm supposed to do this, and that'll work out in this way. And like anything you do that's challenging will make your brain think better. And then if you can think better, you can make more money, or you can make more, whatever you want to do, like whatever your thing is. If you want to help charities or whatever your objective is, as long as you understand you must suffer first, on the other side of that is everything you could desire and want.
I know you had told me, and you showed me pictures where you were...
Oh, I'll bust it out right now. The fat pictures?
Yeah, pretty big.
That's a big fatty fat.
So you overcame that.
It's been like 13 years.
Was your childhood a little crazy too?
Dude, I'm a product of a single mother, of course.
Yeah, you told me some stuff. So, I mean, you have come from some crazy adversity and self-taught and self-raised. So
there's me at 330 pounds, unhappily married. Listen, again, Jessica's awesome, but at the time I was very unhappy. I was a big fatty. I was coming home, eating quesadillas and eating ice cream every night and like smoking marijuana, just being a total piece of garbage. And every night just getting worse and worse and worse and fatter and fatter and fatter, not doing anything and just seeking pleasure all the time.
Fake dopamine.
Yeah, just tons of dopamine. Video games, just stuff you're not supposed to be watching on the internet, just really bad stuff, and just treating my body like a pile of garbage.
So where's the change? What happens?
I wasn't getting divorced yet, but like my body was just like, what are you doing? You're a loser. Like I'm not trying to hate on anybody else, but just me personally, my own personal struggle is 330 pounds at this time. I'm fat. I remember specifically walking upstairs at Barnes & Noble downtown City Place, which is no longer there. But I remember walking up the stairs and I was like,
yeah, in your what, 20s?
And I was like
30s?
27, 28 years old. And I'm like, oh, just give me a second here. And I just remember like so Oh, that's odd. That's weird. And then I went down to, back in the day, there was only one Burlington Coat factory down in Sawgrass Mills. So I went down to Sawgrass Mills to get some suits. And I started putting on these suits, and I'm going to make myself look cool and get a suit. And every suit I put on, I look like a triangle. I look like a damn penguin. And I'm like, what's with these suits? They're all like weird. And the guy's like, sir, you're a little heavy, and that's why the suits aren't fitting right. And then I realized, I'm like, oh shit, I became a giant fat ass. Oh no, I need to take care of this again. I need to start, what can I do? And so I went to my friends, shout out to Dr. Z up in Jupiter. He actually told me, he's like, Max, listen, you're really heavy and you're not going to do a lot of physical exercises. So here's what you're going to do. We're going to put you on kind of like a paleo diet for a while. And you're going to walk on a treadmill, max incline, 30 minutes, 2.5 to 3.0 miles per hour, just slow burning. And I'm like, yeah. And that's kind of developed my love for rucking. You put on a weighted backpack and you go walk 3 miles and you feel like a brand new person. You take that backpack off, you're like, oh my God, I have been reborn.
Yeah.
And you feel so much better then. And just that level of suffering, again, going back to suffering, it really helps unlock everything. You feel so much better. And then you see 20 pounds drop off. You see 40 pounds drop off. You see 60 pounds. And I made it to 100 pounds. I actually got to 215. The problem with 215 is I look like a lollipop. I'm like a giant head and then like no torso, or like just like a stick of a body. So I had to, a little better now. But yeah, just getting yourself uncomfortable and just finding something that you like to do when you sweat, whatever that is.
Nice.
So,
projects. You just mentioned the service thing. Is that kind of the next thing you're focused on?
Yeah, well, our main product is what's called Techsurance. It's basically insurance for technology. Makes sense. But obviously, there's so many strong, independent women that don't need a man, but sometimes they need a man. And so I have a plethora of very successful female entrepreneurs, and they're like, I don't have time to fix my doorknobs. I don't have time to fix my stupid pipes. Like my car is making this weird beeping noise. I don't know why it's making this beeping noise. I can't get my seat thing to fix correctly. I can't get the Bluetooth of my thing to connect like it's supposed to. My Wi-Fi is not working. I need a security camera put inside. You don't want to do the dishwashers. I need my chicken coop fixed. Like I have these crazy things thrown at me. I'm like, I do all this. I have a guy that builds chicken coops. I have like 6 different plumbers I deal with. I do have some AC guys. I have some GC people I deal with. And then a good portion of that I could do myself. And then I know, and I'm always trying to add more quality people to my repertoire. Like I just got a new cabinet guy that has really cool custom cabinets, and I hope I get him a good referral for him. And but the service engine thing is basically, like I said, concierge level service. Either we're going to help you manage your home, we'll watch your house and make sure everything's okay. And if that's good, then hey, Max, I'm going to be out of town and I'm going to have them do a whole bunch of work in my house. Can you come by every day and just make sure they're doing a good job? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go in better. I'll put in cameras in your house, give you access to those cameras. You can watch them in real time, work on your house.
Right.
You can make sure that, everyone who's in your house is doing what they're supposed to and, making it look like you want to. And I'll take pictures before and after. If some things aren't done right, I'll take care of those things with my guys. And just I want you to get a good value for your money if you're going to have me be like your right-hand guy.
Right.
Always
thinking outside of the box. I love it. Last time we talked, you said your ideal jobs and ones that you've been doing now, but the ones that you really love are like the real high end entertainment.
It's the real, yeah. When people go like, I don't have a budget. I just want a 500-inch screen on my wall with like 6,000 speakers everywhere. I want to be able, I want LEDs everywhere, lighting up everywhere. I make Alexa party mode and all this stuff, crazy stuff happens. Like that's what I want. And or people just kind of, they have like a rough idea of what they want, and I get to go there and kind of show them these new, like, oh, look at this new technology. Look at this thing. You take your cell phone does everything. It has your AC controls, your lighting controls, everything's in one spot. So if you have your cell phone with you, which most of us do, you have access to all the controls in your house wherever you're at. It's awesome. I love stuff like that.
That's kind of where you
yeah, technology. Well, we're going to see a big robot revolution coming in. We're going to see AI come in. And I will say this to everyone. If you don't get on ChatGPT or Grok, which is Elon's thing, it's so neat to go in there and type in like, how do I install my dishwasher? Or my iron is making this weird noise. Or my smoke detector is doing, and it will tell you, it'll go through all these websites and it'll give you like a little paragraph of exactly what to do. And it's like so much easier.
I was going to ask you that, like whoever, I can't think of anyone that doesn't have a reason not to use one of these ChatGPTs or Groks, which I use both every day. I mean, for everything, anything you can think of,
it's crazy.
This stuff helps. Personal stuff, how to deal with something with your kids.
Yes.
I mean, it just gives different perspectives, especially if you're fired up, right?
I need marital help. And they're like 12 things. Try these 12 things with your wife. Like, okay, you never thought about this.
Yeah. So people think it's like limited to writing and image creation, but it's really like a second person that's just there kind of giving you stuff. So I know you're big into it. Again, I like Grok as well. I like ChatGPT more.
I have the paid version of Grok. It's so neat. You get the little Grok app right here, and you can actually talk to it and be like, "Hey, what is your opinion of, like, you know, what's cool to you? Go on AI and just say, hey, give me some news stories that I should know about just happening in the world," and they'll just throw you random stuff that you had no idea, like what's going on in Japan, what about the yen, the collapse of something's going to happen, and you get all these like perspectives you wouldn't otherwise get. Like I had no idea about South Africa at all, and I went and told me about South Africa, and I read all about like, okay, the Dutch came here 40 years ago. There wasn't even people that had moved down from Africa down there yet, and kind of the government, how it's going on right now, and there's different sides, and it's really like allowed you to have like an unlimited encyclopedia of all this information as new as possible.
Plus, I saw that Google has now lost a percentage of search engine this past month to AI. So people are now, including myself,
Ditto here.
I'm now defaulting to AI for search stuff first, and then Google second.
You get a better option, right? Or even DuckDuckGo as well, as another backup engine.
Oh, okay.
Because DuckDuckGo is a good place. If you're worried about let's say you're searching something about our president or whatever, if you type it into Google, you get one response. Type in DuckDuckGo, you get a different response, and they kind of go through those. But even better if you use Grok or whatever, it'll go through and give you kind of a mixture of both.
Right.
And it'll even tell you like, hey, we have some information that says that ice cream is actually bad for you, but there's other information that says ice cream is actually good for you. Here's both articles. You be the judge. You make your smart decision.
Nice.
Love that stuff.
Any crazy stories of jobs that you've done? Obviously, that won't get you in trouble. But I remember one of the things that intrigued me about your advertisement was ethical hacking or something.
Yes. I have a really good. Okay, my card says ethical hacking. I have two stories for you. The first story is what I call the monkey story, and this has nothing to do with ethical hacking. That's the second story I'm going to tell you in a second. But the monkey story is this: I go to this lady's house. And I don't want to drop names. I'm not going to drop the club that is, but there's a certain club that's no longer in business that she used to be like the main lady that worked there. It was an adult dancing club. So she was the lady in her 50s that helped get all the talent in the place together for the dancers, right? You get all the dancers in there, interview people and whatever. And so she goes, hey, can you come to my house and look at my Wi-Fi and my computer's messed up? I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll come by. So I go to her house. It's like 5 o'clock on a Saturday. I'm like, okay, I roll in there. You know, I fix her Wi-Fi. And she's like, oh, let me let my monkey out. I'm like, what? She goes, oh, my monkey, I have to let him out. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm sitting there doing work on the computer, punching buttons. And I hear her like, making all these noises. And also this monkey comes out the size of my cup. Okay. Like a 20-ounce coffee cup. And this monkey starts running around the house. And it's like any other house, starts pulling on the curtain, starts knocking stuff off the table, starts running around like an absolute insane animal. And I'm trying to do computer work and not like crack up laugh. I'm trying to keep my professional. And this monkey's running around, and I'm like, will it bite me? She's like, no, it's fine. And she goes, I'm going to calm him down. Don't worry. And she goes in and she makes a screwdriver the same size as the monkey. Huge vodka, orange juice screwdriver. She pours some in her mouth. She sits back, opens her mouth up, and the monkey comes up and drinks it out of her mouth. And I'm trying so hard not to lose it. I'm trying so hard to keep my professionalism because there's this little monkey with his hands on her lips, like grabbing both sides of her lips. He's like, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, you're making this monkey drink out of your mouth. It was an insane story. Unfortunately, the lady passed away, or who knows what happened to her. I haven't talked to her in like 20 years, so she's probably gone with us. That's one. The second one is an ethical hacking story. This guy calls me with a very thick Brazilian accent. He goes, hey, you do the ethical hacking? And I was like, yeah. I was like, you have to come to my house in Anchorage. And I'm like, okay. This is right before 2008 had hit us. That's how long ago this was. And I showed up. And he's like, hey, I think my wife might be talking to somebody else. And I said, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And the way things work then is the computer is the property of both people in the house, right? Okay. Yes. So I went on the computer. I found out who she was talking to. I put some software in there to track what else was going on. I found out who she was talking to, her secret bank accounts, the thing she was going to meet with this guy and somewhere in Brazil, and all these like details of the situation, right? And so I told the guy, here's what I have. You know, he gave me my money. He says, have a great day. I said, no problem. So I hear from the guy about a month later, and he calls me up. He's all excited. He's like, Max, please, you have to come back over here. I said, okay. I came back over. He gives me $1,000 cash as a bonus. I was like, what's this for? He goes, you don't understand, Max. You don't understand. I had a clause in my marriage. If my wife cheated, I'd have no money at all. So like, I saved like $30 million. He's some business guy down in Brazil. I don't know. He had a bunch of property, whatever. And he had like 7 or 8 acres in the acreage. He had a bunch of property in the acreage. And he was so excited that I helped him find out that his wife was being kind of dirty behind his back. And he saved he says, I saved millions and millions and millions of dollars because of you. I was like, thank you, man. And then kind of prelude to that, or kind of addition to that, is most of the ethical hacking we get is like, you're a concerned father and your daughter's like 13, 14 years old and she's on her phone and she's talking to some, not so nice people, doing some not so nice things, asking for pictures, asking for videos, very inappropriate stuff. So we will come in and kind of show the parents kind of what to look for and kind of help them navigate that situation. And then, hopefully they can make sure the daughters end up with some creepy guy running off with somebody, something like that. I just tell people, if you're not sure what to do, just tell your daughter I love you. Say, I love you, my daughter. You're great. Give your daughter a big hug. Make sure she feels loved. And then hope for all the best. Because once she turns 18, there's nothing you can do. Like, see you later.
Chain her up.
I'm sorry, you're not going out ever again. Put your chastity belt back on.
Wow, those are some pretty funny stories. I'd never heard those from you.
I have a lot more.
Well, time's running out, but what are your plans with your company? Do you have any desire to go different counties, out of state, or just kind of dominate Palm Beach County and that's it?
The joke I tell people, there was like, do you come to Miami? Do you come to like Hope Sound? And I'm like, well, my boundaries are typically the North Pole to the South Pole, but the moon is extra. But I will say this, I've flown to the Bahamas before with a client. I've gone to Georgia to do lighting. I've gone to New York to do networking. I've gone pretty much all over the place to do stuff for people, and like anything for a price, right? Like, Hey, look, Max, can you come to my place in the Key West and put cameras everywhere? Okay, what type of cameras you want? What's your budget? Here's where I'm going to be on my thing. Can we work a deal out? Make it happen. Because people like a competent person.
Yep. And
that's why they bring me in. That's why the guy flew me to the Bahamas, was specifically because he's like, the people over there don't know what they're doing. I need someone to come over and take care of it.
Someone competent.
So I love stuff like that. And with Starlink, you can pretty much go anywhere now. You go anywhere we want in the world with Starlink and access internet and be okay.
That's cool.
So yeah, keep it going. Make it bigger, make enough money, but not too much money. That's the big thing, is you have to know when's enough. I have clients of mine that are in their 80s, right? And they have hundreds of millions of dollars. They have crazy castles on the island. They have whatever the hell they want, and they're still working, 80, 120 hours a week. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they can't stop it. That's their dopamine is work, 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 work.
Do you think it's because they think they're going to go poor, which I do know some people that are wealthy that think that they grew up like that? Or do you think that they've just got so ingrained in that lifestyle that they don't know anything better? They have no other habits and stuff. Or it's a combination of both.
As a ramen and Kool-Aid kid from the 80s myself, I will say that there's obviously a fear of going back to poverty, but I think people think you have to have like $100 million in the bank. And really all you have to do is have your house paid off, have like about maybe $2 to $5 million in the bank, and then just do something you enjoy. And like everything's going to fall together. Everything's going to go in place. Like
$5 million is a lot of money to have in the bank.
But, okay, hold on. Let me back up. What I'm saying is, like, let's say you have $5 million in assets. So let's say your house is worth now you're in Florida. Everyone's a millionaire because we have a house, right? Yeah. Congratulations, we're all millionaires. So have the house paid off or almost paid off, right? And then just make enough money to do what you want to do, and like set some goals. Like, hey, I want to go to Italy for 2 weeks. Okay, go to Italy for 2 weeks. Like my goal right now is I've been to Japan twice. Once with my good friend Denny, and second time with my son. It was really cool to take him there. My third time is going to be next year. This time I'll be there for 1 month. 1 month in Japan. So I'm preparing myself now a year before schedule. What do I have to do? How do I have to have my guys trained? What type of money do I have saved up? Where am I going to be going? So I get to already think about my goals. And if you have these goals set, like, hey, I want to go on a cruise ship to the Bahamas for 2 weeks. Okay. Like, set this stuff up and then work towards those goals, and always constantly visualize that. I want a new kitchen. Okay, well, how much new kitchen? Well, I want $30,000 of kitchen. Okay, well, I start putting aside $500 a month. I'll put that money aside, and then I'll build my kitchen the way I want it to be super awesome and amazing. But people get caught up in this game where they can't stop. Like you said, that's all they know is work. Yep. All they know is make $100,000 this month. I'm like, okay, yeah, but you already have all this money, and you haven't seen your daughter, at her prom. You didn't get to take her to prom or anything. You didn't see your son's walk across the stage. Your son just graduated as a Green Beret. You weren't to that. Like, how much did you need? Like, I mean, I guess it's great and all.
Into unhealthy.
Yes, it's
addiction.
It looks like people that are addicted to drugs, but they're addicted to success. And the problem is, as our society is, we're like, oh, he's making so much money. Well, yeah, but like he already has so much money. Elon Musk is the perfect example of a rich person you want to be, because Elon Musk works the way he wants to work because that's the way he wants to work. He's sleeping on the floor of Tesla when they were about to go bankrupt to specifically make sure his company succeeds, and not about money. He's already got hundreds of billions in the bank. He just wants to build the future. He wants to build cool stuff. He's like, I want to build a giant rocket and get all of mankind to Mars. I want to build the best car. The number one car in the world is the Model Y that he sells. Like, that guy is I would really like to sit down and talk to that guy and just like learn from him, like the wisdom and the mistakes. Like, what did you do? Like, that's such a cool mentality. And then when he wants to go take a vacation, he rents some big yacht, goes to Greece, and dicks off for 4 weeks.
Yep.
And has a fun time. But he genuinely enjoys what he's doing. And he's doing something. I mean, how many people make a nice paycheck because of Elon Musk? Love him or hate him. How many thousands of people are taking home 6 figures a year or more specifically because what Elon Musk is doing?
Right.
It's brilliant. Genius. He's transformed so many people's lives because of that.
Yep.
So,
lastly, for an aspiring person who wants to get either in your field or start their own business, we talked about some of these things, but what do you think maybe the top 3 things someone needs to know?
You only need 3 things. It's really simple. It's really, actually, I should say it's very simple. It is not easy. You need discipline, you need respect, and you need patience. And all those, and I mean, dead serious. I don't sound stupid to like keep beating the drum, and you need to suffer. And as you suffer, as you sit there and you look at your bank account and it says, negative $250, like I just got paid on my account, negative $250. Well, because you have a bunch of overdraft fees, you have no respect. You have no financial discipline. You have no patience. And that's why you're negative $300 in your bank account. Again, live below your means. If you look at any guy as a billionaire, if you ever meet a billionaire, they always dress like you. They're like just casual shirt, casual slacks, Apple smartwatch. Guy's got like, 100 whatever million in the bank. You have no idea. You always meet these people that are super flashy. They're like over the top. Like, that guy probably has no money. Yep. He's probably in debt. He's probably paying $2,000 a month for a Bentley payment. He doesn't even like. What are you doing, bro? Like, I had an option to get a Cybertruck, and I just could I afford it? Yes, no, whatever. But I decided not to get it because it's just $1,000 a month thing that's going to take up all this revenue, and I could put that money in stocks. I could put that money in my house. I could put that money in something more productive. Maybe buy a vehicle for my business for like 30 grand versus 100 grand. That's a much better investment.
Right.
And then part of the patient thing is set goals. Set realistic, achievable goals, and hold yourself accountable. Why did I not make the money I wanted? Well, I had a drug problem, or, I went through a bad divorce, or, I started getting home and getting lazy all the time. Like, no, man, go out there and find a way to build those goals and have the discipline, have the respect to push it through, and just keep fighting no matter what. Be relentless.
I love it. How can people get in contact with you if they want to hire you, or say somebody hears the podcast, watches the podcast, and just has questions for you?
Type in Computer Ninjas on Google and look at our reviews. Make sure you like me. And then give me a call. Just press the number, it'll dial right to me, and I'll answer the phone. Even if I'm in Japan, as long as I'm awake, I'll answer the phone. People, like, sometimes I'll get a phone call like 1:30 in the morning, and it's just some guy from California just flew into his house in Palm Beach, and hey, he's just like, I was gonna leave a message. I'm like, hey, how can I help you? And like, what are you doing awake? I just happened to be awake, and I saw the phone ring, so I'd answer it. And they're like, guys, instantly sold on me. He doesn't even know who I am. He's gonna use me. He's gonna give me so much money. I'm very happy to work for this guy because that level, like, the biggest thing is just return the phone calls.
Right.
How many of your guys get phone calls, get messages, right? Gordon and daughter for the injured, and they never return the phone call?
Yeah, I've gotten some cases from a couple of the bigger firms because of that.
They don't return phone calls.
Yeah.
I know a lot of PI attorneys, and if you just return the phone calls to people, just be personal. What is it? Dan, what's the guy's name? Newland? Oh my God. No. Who's the tiny little, he's a Cuban dude. Oh my God, he's totally crazy. Oh my God, I'm going to go crazy. This is a little small billionaire guy. He's called himself the $1 trillion man. He's a $1 trillion man. He's a little Dan.
No idea.
Dan Pena, P-E-N-A, Dan Pena. There's a podcast of him and Joe Rogan. And he says, you need to do all of your work every day. Whatever work you have to do, you sit there and you get it done. And then when it's done, you can go and relax.
Yep.
And if you can just do all your work, you know what you're supposed to do. You know the things you're putting off. I should really look at these reports. I should really build my website, whatever. But get it done. Get it done. And then eventually it's going to result in you having this beautiful crop of money or success or whatever you want, and you'll have enough money for it.
Nice. Well, listen, man. Always a pleasure talking to you, hanging out with you, listening to your words of advice. So I appreciate your time and thanks, man.
Thank you. And listen, I just want to say thank you also. This is a heck of a setup. If anyone is invited to come here and to be on this podcast, you should 100% take it up. Unfortunately, the first time I was sick, but I'm glad I made it here. This business is very professional. Got the soundproofing in here, got the proper headphones.
I can tell you
this is really nice. Like really, this is like 10.
Thank you. I had this vision in my head because this was an extra room, had it built out, started buying pretty high-end equipment for me.
That thing's nice.
And this is like my favorite thing to do now. It's not a moneymaker, and I don't, but I'm enjoying talking to really interesting people like you. I'm starting to get some followers, people giving me great feedback. So I'm just trying to keep the list going. So if you know someone in our area that's entrepreneurial, I'm not looking for a regular 9-to-5 type person. No offense. That's why I'm not going for any lawyers, chiropractors, regular doctors. If it's a lawyer that's done something really wild or crazy, yes. But basically someone is doing something that's just completely different, giving people ideas of what else that can be done other than a 9-to-5. And again, there's nothing wrong with 9-to-5s. I've done plenty of them as I was younger, but now I could never work for someone ever again.
Yeah.
And I just try to instill that in, trying to instill in my kids of looking to maybe being a business owner, at least have that option there, because there's nothing like it.
That's the way to freedom. People don't want to hear this. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, but mostly a blessing. And if you can go
freedom,
oh my God, it's so nice.
Obviously we had to kill it and bust our butts, which we still do, but now we get to do vacations on our terms. We get to pick our clients. We get to,
You're absolutely correct. I remember once I was snowboarding in Breckenridge. Shout out to Breckenridge. I was in Colorado, and the phone rings, and I answer the phone call, and it's some guy's like, yeah, I need 10 computers, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And so I put the order in for him, get everything ready, send to my office, get the computer starting to get built. And then the guy calls, and then so I got the deal done. This one phone call that I took on my vacation, I stopped snowboarding, took vacation, paid for my entire vacation ×2.
That's awesome.
So the vacation was paid, and then I kept snowboarding. I'm like, where else can I snowboard and make money? This is incredible.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
That's the high reward part, right?
Oh my God.
The high risk is, you got to be answering stuff on your vacation sometimes. Some
yeah,
people
but
do.
Every phone call is a ka-ching. I mean, I should say potentially ka-ching.
Right.
That or car insurance or house warranties.
Yeah.
Or mortgage. Equity.
Car windows.
Car windows.
All right. I didn't even put the timer on, but
where is this? Looking like
I'm
an
sure
hour.
we're way over.
56 right there. It says 56:17. I can see it on there.
See what I mean?
It's an hour.
Time just goes by.
Jesus.
Anyway, we're going to wrap this thing up, and it's been a pleasure. And till the next one.